All right, we have a loaded show coming your way on Philadelphia Eagles now as it's another Victory Monday. But first, appreciate everybody for joining our watch party yesterday. The numbers are in, 40,000 people throughout the afternoon. We picked up 427 new subscribers, but we're trying to reach another milestone. If you want videos every single day on the Philadelphia Eagles that are informative, entertaining, year-round, subscribe to the channel. 73 people left until 36,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button to lock us in for your go-to Philadelphia Eagles coverage. And with that, let's start the show. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Today's show is presented by True Classic Tees. If you want to look good and feel good in the process and get 25% off your order using the promo code CHAT, True Classic Tees is where it's at. We'll tell you more about them coming up here right around the corner. It's trueclassictees.com/chat with the promo code CHAT. All right, cooked up for today's show. Absolutely loaded. You don't want to miss any of it, so I hope you hang out with us for the next several minutes. Jalen Hurts put on an MVP-type show. We're going to take a look at the numbers. Does the national media hate Nick Sirianni? He's beloved in Philadelphia, but no one likes us. We don't care. Could Jordan Davis be coming back soon? OBJ to the Cowboys, and Ndamukong Suh, Linval Joseph in their debuts. Absolutely awesome. We'll take a look at some statistics on that front as well. But first, it's another Victory Monday. Victory! So if you needed a second to catch your breath during yesterday's game, a 10-point fourth quarter comeback, the largest fourth quarter deficit that the Eagles have come back against in 12 years, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Everybody watching right now who's a real Eagles fan should hit that thumbs up icon because everybody should be stoked about the Birds being 9-1. Let's begin with Jalen Hurts. It hurts so good. Absolutely love what he did to the mascot when he scored that touchdown. Yeah, take that. And in the fourth quarter, he was phenomenal. 79 passing yards, 51 rushing yards, 2 total touchdowns, staging an epic 10-point comeback to get that Eagles record to 9-1. And when the lights were the brightest for Jalen Hurts, that's when he played his best. MVP caliber stuff from number one. Fourth quarter numbers alone. 79 passing yards, a couple of really big third and fourth down conversions, made it happen with his arm as well as his legs. 8 of 11 through the air, 51 yards on the ground on 9 carries, and that combines for 130 total yards, 2 touchdowns. The one that brought them back into Quez Watkins on a dime ball as he crossed the defense, and then the other, the quarterback power run. It was designed all the way where the seas departed for Hurts, and he took it to pay dirt to put the Eagles ahead. And when the team needed Jalen the most, he stepped up. He picked up the slack with what was a pretty stagnant offense yesterday that for the second consecutive week, in my opinion, really failed to establish a momentum, and he put the team on his shoulders to get a huge win. And if the Eagles are playing at home late in the playoffs, late in January, this win against the Indianapolis Colts could be why. We were really spoiled for many weeks in the regular season when Philadelphia was blowing everybody out. They made it look easy. And if there's one thing that we know about the NFL, it ain't easy. And sometimes against inferior opponents, you can lose. Other times, you just have to edge through with the victory, and that's what the Birds did. And in the process, they now have a 2-game lead for the number 1 seed in the NFC. Why is that? Because the Minnesota Vikings and fraudulent Kirk Cousins got blasted by the Dallas Cowboys. And because the Eagles won that head-to-head matchup, they're at 9-1. Vikings are 8-2. 2-game lead for Philly. Seahawks, because they have that divisional lead in the NFC West, in third place at 6-4. But with the Niners winning tonight on Monday Night Football, they would elevate to number 3. Bucks, Cowboys, Giants in the mix. San Francisco is a dangerous team. And then on the outside looking in, look out for those Commanders. They've been sneaky, and they got a big win over Philadelphia last week, as well as the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions kind of surging right now as Jamal Williams leads the NFL in non-quarterbacks with touchdowns with 12 so far this year. So what do you think, Eagles fans? Are the Birds still the best team in the NFC? They beat the Cowboys, who beat the number 2 seeded Minnesota Vikings, and the Philadelphia Eagles dump truck the Vikings back in week 2. I do think that the Philadelphia Eagles, best team in the NFC, I'm going to submit my why for yes. There are some concerns that come out of this victory for Philly. And it's the offense and their performance over the last couple of games. You look at the numbers here, the last 19 possessions, it's not really trending in a pretty direction by any means. They have 5 turnovers, and if you remember going into that Washington game, they were plus 15 in turnover differential. They had 3 turnovers all year heading into that matchup. They coughed it up 4 times 2 weeks ago. More turnovers yesterday against Indy with 2 of them. The Jalen Hurts strip sack as well as the A.J. Brown fumble. So 5 turnovers the last 19 offensive possessions, 7 punts, 5 total touchdowns, and 14 drives of 6 or less plays. That's a far cry from that dominant Eagles offense that we saw that was explosive and dynamic. But how about this defense? If I were to put a blindfold on you and tell you about these Eagles defensive numbers, you would probably say, no way, no how. What is this, a Buddy Ryan-led defense from the early 1990s with Reggie White and Jerome Brown in the crew, as well as Eric Allen and some of those historic Eagles defenses back in the day? Yards per game, they are second in the NFL. Takeaways, they are first. Interceptions with 13, also first. And yards per play, 4.5, that's number 1 in the NFL. If I told you those numbers with a blindfold on and you didn't get to see the graphic, or you've watched this Eagles defense and you're like, wait, there's no way, no how that their numbers are that good, yes, according to the statistics, they are. So maybe this defense trending in a better direction, and finally, they stopped the run game against Jonathan Taylor and the Colts. 3 consecutive games heading in of 140 or more rushing yards allowed for Philadelphia's rushing defense. 5 games of 100 rushing yards or more. And after that first drive, in which Jonathan Taylor found a lot of success, he found the end zone. After that, he had 36 rushing yards for the game, and Indy 99 rushing yards as a team. Coming up next, we're really only getting started. We're going to talk Odell Beckham Jr. to the Cowboys, Jordan Davis update, Nick Sirianni hate from the national media, and how about Sue and Joseph having very good debuts for Philly. But first, Philadelphia Eagles Now is presented by True Classic Tees. If you want to be swagged up and swagged out with True Classic Tees, you got to do it. And you get 25% off if you use the code CHAT at trueclassictees.com/chat. And look, the holiday seasons are coming up right around the corner, and True Classic Tees is the perfect gift for either yourself or somebody else out there. And these deals, phenomenal. And the True Classic Tees, you can get the package of t-shirts. They're comfortable, breathable. The material is absolutely awesome. I really like their polos as well. I wear them on the golf course. You've seen me wear them here at work. They kind of have that really comfortable athletic material. 25% off your order at trueclassictees.com/chat. Use the promo code CHAT for that deal to apply. We'll be sure to put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. Really appreciate True Classic Tees for being the sponsor of today's show. And with the holidays almost here, there is plenty of t-shirt cheer thanks to our sponsor, True Classic Tees. Fellas, you have the perfect gift for your wish list. It is True Classic Tees. To Odell Beckham Jr. now. Is he going to sign with the Dallas Cowboys? I'll tell you what, he is elite at the social media game. OBJ reportedly plans to visit the Cowboys and Giants after Thanksgiving. Report confirmed by Jerry Jones himself postgame. And the Cowboys and G-Men play on Thanksgiving and appear to be the 2 favorites for Odell Beckham Jr. So it's not like this rivalry is awful, right? It's a fantastic rivalry, and now they're in the OBJ sweepstakes together. Jerry Jones on Odell Beckham Jr. saying this, I've just said, yes, I will leave it at that. Your statement is after Thanksgiving, and that's the yes. We just don't have that set up. We're planning to get together. So he did confirm they're planning to get together. Certainly, it's a time for us to sit down. And going back to my comment about OBJ just being stellar on social media, this guy is marketable. This guy has a large following for a football player, and oftentimes football players are not always marketable. That can't be said for OBJ. And he knows how to get serious traction on social media. He just tweeted this out when the Cowboys were thumping the Minnesota Vikings on the road. They went crazy today. Way to draw up the hype there from Cowboys fans. And then a lot of players quote tweeting Odell Beckham Jr. from the Dallas Cowboys. Some recruiting efforts going on? Probably. DeMarcus Lawrence said they sure did. Micah Parsons saying, come on then. And then OBJ later said, oh yeah, I do have another destination, right, that I want to hit after Thanksgiving. It is the rival New York Giants. So let me just tweet this out. I miss Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, credit to him. He's having a great year, and I could see why OBJ is certainly missing Saquon. Because it's Dallas and Dallas always sucks, and that's the year-round motto. How about them Cowboys? Type F the Cowboys in the chat right now. Dallas, they may have beaten the Minnesota Vikings on the road. We know what's going to happen come playoff time. They are frauds. To Jordan Davis now. Adam Schefter with the report on JD, the Eagles' first-round pick, and things are looking up for him. And can you imagine him being a reinforcement? After seeing how Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph played, Eagles believe that Davis can return on December 4th against the Titans, was placed on IR after suffering that sprained ankle against the Steelers back in Week 8. And the Birds have certainly missed him in the trenches because this guy against the run is already a stout defender in his debut season in the National Football League. More from Schefter on Jordan Davis saying this. The Eagles also believe that defensive tackle Jordan Davis has a realistic chance to return when he is eligible to come off IR on December 4th against the Tennessee Titans. According to a league source, despite their additions this past week of Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph, Jordan Davis is expected to come back. To Nick Sirianni now. This is classic Philadelphia against the world here because I love what Nick Sirianni brings to the table. I would rather have a head coach in Sirianni exude excitement and passion and emotion as compared to a guy like Bill Belichick, who's a dead fish. So Nick Sirianni after the game was really fired up about that comeback win over Indy. He understood the stakes at play, and also you have to factor in that Frank Reich was his former boss, and he got fired by Jim Irsay in a very odd move, and Frank Reich wanted to get back at Indianapolis for firing his former boss and a guy who he calls a football father. So he went on to one of the bleachers at Lucas Oil Stadium. There were Eagles fans in that front row, and like Nick Sirianni always does, he got up, he pumped his fist, he was really pumped up, and some bag had tweeted, Nick Sirianni, the least likable coach in the NFL. You don't like excitement? You don't like emotion? You don't like a guy being real? That's what Nick Sirianni is. This is a guy who at press conference supports his team and his players with all of the dope merchandise that he wears. He's all Philadelphia all the time, and he's a perfect coach for Philadelphia. So if people don't like Nick Sirianni, that's all good at the end of the day because people in Philadelphia, we as Eagles fans, love Nick Sirianni. And you know that motto, no one likes us, no one likes us, no one likes us, we don't care. And that includes Nick Sirianni. Haters can hate. Philadelphia Eagles are 9-1 thanks to Sirianni implementing a new culture, and he's won 16 of his last 20 regular season games. So suck on that. All right, snap counts against the Indianapolis Colts. Really, we want to take a look at the snaps for Ndamukong Suh as well as Linval Joseph. Now, Joseph was signed on Wednesday. We went live. That's why you subscribe. Ndamukong Suh was signed on Thursday. They come out after not having played football since last year and not being with the team throughout preseason, training camp, the regular season. And Linval Joseph gives you 26 snaps, and Ndamukong Suh gives you 17. And both of them were game changers. I'm honestly not sure if the Philadelphia Eagles win that game over Indy if it weren't for Joseph and Suh and them plugging the gaps on the interior of this defensive line. When Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph were on the field, the Eagles allowed 2.83 yards per carry. When they were not on the field, as part of our chat stats segment of the day, they allowed 6 yards per carry when Suh and Joseph were not partaking in those defensive snaps on the field for Philadelphia. So again, what I've always said, you get Jordan Davis back. He is going to get a lot of snaps. But as backups, how many teams can say they have Linval Joseph, two-time Pro Bowler, and Ndamukong Suh, member of the 2010s All-Decade team, as depth pieces along the defensive line and guys who are really experienced, they are hungry, they could get rejuvenated by a change of scenery and an opportunity to extend their NFL careers. And I thought Linval Joseph, he's already a peak Philadelphian. He said, look, with that game being down to the wire, somebody had to put their nuts on the table, and it was the Philadelphia Eagles. Linval, everybody already loves you. So again, it's Victory Monday. If you're pumped up about that Birds win over Indy to get Philly to 9-1, hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. And as always, make sure you subscribe, and we appreciate all of your support of Philadelphia Eagles Now.